Welcome to another Weekly Bite episode. So today we'll be taking a look at the Bushiroad weekly scheduled updates for the TCG Carfight Vanguard. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new rulings that they have made for the Link Joker archetype within Cardfight, and some new card reveals and releases that have been brought out as well, some Vanguard Zero news, and any other miscellaneous information hopefully you might be able to bring up. So first things first though, before we jump into it, we'd like to give you a special, introduction to CarfightMeta.com. CarfightMeta.com is now up and running. If you guys have always wanted a location or a place to build decks, to submit your decks, to always have it up for other viewers to watch, if you want any news, information, and updates of things that we often do here on our channel, you can take a look no further other than CarfightMeta.com. Founded by Kumatank and I guess help ran by yours truly, we hope to bring a lot more competitive or even fun Timmy, Spike, and a whole lot of Jimmys in between decks who might be interested in submitting some of their interesting, cool deck archetypes that they might want to be playing or putting up, or playing in another BSF or a VMC or a neighboring BCS in the near future. So that's going to be kind of cool. So without further ado, let's get into the news for today. So we'll take a look at the Fighters Rule update that we have gotten. Fighters can put non-Link Joker cards with reverse in their card name into Link Joker deck. So that's information that we've always had before. That's for both the formats. Those cards lose their text and icon skills, gift markers, and trigger icons, sadly enough. So if they happen to make any reverse heal guardians or trigger icons or reverse units that are reprinted as triggers, they lose all those triggers effects. Because there were some Messiah archetypes that did happen to play crit. Hopefully future JJ will probably put it up on the side over here, that you would oftentimes have like trigger units that you would get as Vanguard Zero tournament promos that you could put in your deck. Whether or not they could be played at Tier 2 events, I was not sure. I thought that you could, but it was very rare and difficult to come by, making them pretty expensive. But hey, that's fine. The update applies on the 17th of June in JP for both the Premium and Premium. The TCG strategy meeting will be held tomorrow. And who knows what extra updates that we'll be getting down the pipeline as well. So this could be very interesting news. What balance could we expect for the Premium, and Overdress? Any limitations, any decks that are being too strong and too popular, hopefully might get hit there. First, we do have a couple of cards to get revealed. The big name of the week, Starvator Omega Glendios. Him being revealed today. His original power of all of your rear guards will reverse in their names becomes 1800. So they're 1800 vanillas, which is not the worst thing. They're kind of difficult for your opponent to guard around, and I think he also has a force marker on his own, so he could also give force markers to your reverse units so they become 28k columns. It's kind of vanilla, but it's fine. At the beginning of your main phase, if you have 5 more cards in your damage zone, so ultimate break, doesn't really have the term there, but the text is still kind of representative of it. If your opponent has 5 or more locked cards, you win the game. So that's kind of cool, because there's like a couple of deleter units that can keep your cards face down, can't countercharge, can't unlock after deletion. There's the one deleter grade 1 that allows you to do so. Hopefully yours truly will put it up on the screen when that comes along. So that's a really cool interaction that you might want to keep in consideration. Then we have Vanguard Circle, once per turn, cost Soul Blast 1 and choose a card with reverse in its card name from your drop zone, and that does not have the same name as face-up cards in your bind zone, and bind it. During your opponent's next end phase, your opponent cannot turn their cards face up. So this kind of forces you to play multiple one-ofs or two-ofs of particular cards that you might have. You might want to try to play maybe all of the reverse units, like one copy of it, because they're asking you if you're not having just the one. That's going to be kind of interesting. So this also has it in its own skill that it will keep them Omega locked, at least, is what we used to be calling it. It used to be the term for it. Then we have Vanguard Circle. Once per turn, when your unit with reversing its card name is placed on rearguard circle, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, not on an additional rearguard circle, and lock it. So this is not a direct counter to XL. A lot of people were very, very antsy about how this would interact with Axel markers. So I guess they're telling you straight off the bat, Axel, you're fine. You can keep on doing the things that you're doing. We won't completely hate you, because Chaos Breaker, it's the only archetype that can kind of get rid of your opponent's markers mid-battle when playing in premium and stuff. So it's kind of spooky having something like this exist, having something like that exist. And if that were to be transferred here into something like Glendios, that would be something very scary. And then we also have a couple of new cards added in Starvator. We have Magnet Hollow. He is a retrain of the previous Magnet Hollow from the previous series. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Starvator, it's named Counterblast 1. Search your deck up to one card with reverse in its name, reveal it, and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. So it is a tutor for reverse. During your turn, this unit gets 5k power for each card with reverse with different card names in your bind zone. That actually feeds really well into itself, because it can become like a 25k hitter, can become a 30k hitter, 35k hitter, 45k hitter, depends on how many that are removed from play. This can get relatively out of hand. It scales relatively well into the late game. I'm not a Starvator connoisseur myself, so I don't know like how good this archetype has gotten. But we still have a couple more cards to go through, so I'll give my take after we're done. Taboo Starvator Rubidium. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to one card reversed in its card name from among them. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Rearguard Circle. If your Vanguard is Starvator Omega Glendios, all of your units with reverse in their card names gets intercept. The original shield becomes 10,000. That's pretty okay. It's a continuous skill on a rearguard circle that you get intercept. Can't intercept on the back row, but I would say you probably have to play this as a Vorov. It's okay. I mean, you'll need like one of them. Yeah, their original shield it doesn't get plus, so it doesn't really matter if you have multiple copies of this on a board. So I guess you can get away with playing like two of it or none of it. It's not as important, but the shield value can get kind of schmexy. You're playing with 18k vanillas, and having a bit of defensive capability would be kind of nice. I would have actually liked this skill on either Glendios himself, to be honest, because then it makes him tankier, so you can maybe see a bit more play of him in premium, possibly. I still feel that you could get away with playing this in premium, but the cool thing that a lot of people liked playing reverse Link Joker decks is the fact that you could use all of the skills, like Himiko Messiah, Hyaki Messiah, Himiko, Starvator Himiko. You know, you had some cool engine decks, but I guess for future support, if they want to bring more Starvator stuff out, it does restrict their design idea, because then you need to keep in consideration with multiple multiple decks and multiple archetypes that could be mixed and matched with it. So I guess it just said no. That's fine, I guess. Then we have Starvator, World Line Dragon. This used to be a starter back in the day. This used to be the starter for Glendios back in its heyday. When this is placed on Vanguard Circle or Rhaegar Circle, Counterblast 1, discard a card with reverse in its card name from your hand. Look at the top 7 for the top of your deck and choose 2 cards with Starvator in the name, different names from among them, reveal them, put them into your hand, shuffle your deck. So this is, oh, not Counterblast, Soul Blast. This is not bad. It can get a little oof. I could see this. I could see a couple copies of this. My brain is shifting more to how I would see this be played in Premium. Because there's a lot of grade 1s that you actually want to be able to fish back out your reverse cards out of your drop zone, reuse them again, relock again, call over it, discard it, fish it back. You get to kind of cycle through a lot of your locks and a lot of your filtering through your deck, so you actually get to thin your deck out for triggers. Because if you hit multiple of this, I will say though, it does eat through a bit of soul from what I noticed. A bit of CB, a bit of soul. Omega Glendios himself uses soul. This uses soul. I do think that some of the Starvator grade 1s don't really require soul. It goes into soul itself. So it's not the worst. I do think maybe in this list you probably would just play one of every reversed in this archetype. And I think you would probably come up to, I think, how much grade 3s? 12 grade 3s in total? 10 to 12 grade 3s you could run, maybe? And you need to try to find a way to fish out Glendios as consistently as possible. You'll be in that issue. 13 grade 3s is a possibility as well. Rubidium. You can also guard with grade 3s out of your hand too, since they all have shield power. So you're not just playing with a bunch of dead cards, and there are 18k beat sticks. So hey, that's it's not bad. All in all, I would rate this pretty okay. It is pretty alright. If it was a numerical value, out of 8, I would have rated a 6. 6 out of 8, or at least 7.5. 7 out of 10. This is a 7 out of 10 archetype for me. I like it. I like its capability. For V Premium, I can see it as a really cool, fun deck. I think for Premium, it might not be that strong, unfortunately, competitive-wise, unless some mad scientist develops a strategy of being able to, like, cycle through. If you want to play multiple copies of World Line, so like one as your starter, and then a couple other copies of it as your grade 1s, and then you use Rubidium as a 2 because you can fish it out of with World Line, and then you play a couple of the other grade 1s to get some of your other reverse from your drop zone. You have counter charge grade 1s that allow you to counter charge too as well. Your grade 2 lineup will be kind of thin, so maybe like 9 grade 2s possibly, maybe 8. Since the data is maybe on the left side, you'll be playing a lot more grade 1s, since the grade 1s have usually been known to be better for Starvator. You could end up running like extra Starvator PGs, maybe ones that can lock stuff for you, ones that can counter charge or draw cards, or Omega lock stuff for you. There is maybe the later grade 1 you can contemplate in playing, which can Omega lock stuff, but Glendios Omega locks himself, but he can get in the way of striding. But you do have some deleter stride. You do have Glendios strides, so it's not the end of the world. It's just that if you're playing against something like Nightmare Dolls or archetypes that can just get rid of their circles, like Nightmare Dolls primarily, you're in for a bad time. It's gonna be a bad time for you, I feel. But I think against other archetypes, I feel that this can kind of pack a punch. There are times where Link Joker has put up some numbers in Premium. In V Premium, usually it's Messiah who usually does pretty well. because Messiah has a 30k beat stick and usually played with Force 2, so 30k beat stick with Force 2. Premium is usually the realm of Starvator. Messiah unfortunately doesn't do that well in Premium. So let's take a look at some of the other units that got revealed as well today. We have Steam Tamer Nani, which is a retrain of the Chrono Tiger archetype. It usually used to be primarily played in that archetype back then. It used to call itself in the bind zone. In the middle of battle, by Soul Blasting 1, so let's see how it has changed. When this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, if your Vanguard is Chrono Tiger Rebellion cost, bind all cards from your hand. At the end of turn, put all bound cards into your hand. If you bound 3 or more cards until the end of turn, this unit gets all of your opponent's Guardians gets plus 5k shields. How what? What? This is beautiful. You could play this again. You could play this in Premium. You could play this in a Chrono Fang. This is what? You barely use any CB in most gear builds anyway. You usually use this for like History Maker plays and stuff like that. But you binding this and maybe calling it out of your bind zone and like doing a whole bunch of shenanigans, and also using the Gear Clock grade 3, which also forces your opponent to deal with it as well. There's a lot of shenanigans that, and this gives Chrono Fang a way of being able to do something like that. Wow. And at the end of the turn, you get all your cards back, so you don't actually have to constantly keep on forcing your hand to the board the whole time. This is beautiful. Unfortunately, it's a promo. Now that I took a look at it, I'm not going to say too much about promos, but I've been hurt before. This is beautiful. This is exactly what Chrono Tiger needed. Unfortunately, this is Chrono Tiger Rebellion, and it's not really on a Chrono Fang. It'd be awesome if it was Chrono Fang, but you need your grade 4. You need your Stride. This is basically, in Premium, this is basically GB1. GB1 or GB2, or specifically Chrono Tiger Rebellion. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Like, half your archetype needs your cards bound anyway, so this is beautiful. This is beautiful for Premium. I've had so many moments I'm like, man, if half my hand was just bound right now, I need to think of like weird ways of minusing myself, where this card just says, hey homie, I got you. I minus you for you. Alright, cool. Prism of a Water Surface Milueta. Milutoa. When this is placed on Vanguard Rearguard Circle, she's also a promo. Cost Soul Blast 1, and your opponent have both draw a card. Oh, this is a retrain of the old grade 1. This used to be on players, both players draw. So they changed it. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and you and your opponent both choose a card from their hand and call them to Rearguard Circle, your opponent's auto abilities do not activate from this call. Oh, this can get kinda nasty with it. So, oh dear God. You can actually, you could possibly, you could do this like multiple times in a turn, no? So you and your opponent place 1, both of you draw 1 if you have grade 3. Yeah, you could apply this like multiple times in a turn. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear. Oh no. Okay, so this could possibly mill your opponent out. I'm kind of scared of this card. You can facilitate the soul for this relatively easy in any build of Bermuda. Oh boy. Yeah, this is kind of scary. All right, fair. Oh boy. Let's see, and now we have the Vanguard 0 news and update information. Let's take a look. Any new news? Big Belly is going to be the next ranked reward for the second half of set 9. So this is JP only, and we do have the Summer Championships on the in 2 days. The Summer Championship Series, which, well, the ranked season will be beginning again in the next 2 days from now, so it'll be from the 16th to the 30th. But there's also the qualifier, the end of season qualifiers for the Summer Championships that is coming up soon this summer. So make sure you guys are the top 100 of your ladder. Make sure you guys are qualifying. I think it's higher now, actually, right? I think from back when I used to play a lot more, it used to be like top 28 or something, but I think it's now been modified. I think it's like top 50, or it could be top 18. Usually that tends to fluctuate. Hopefully somebody in the comment section below will correct me. You guys always do, so thank you guys for that. With that being said, I don't think there's any more irrelevant news and information for Cardfight for today. So I'd like to thank each and every last one of you guys for tuning in and stopping on by.
In other words, I love you. In other words, I love